With 2 Brownlow medals, 3 Best and Fairests, and 3 All-Australians, and over 200 games, you'd be forgiven if you forgot that Nat Fyfe was taken at pick number 20 in the 2010 National Draft. A skinny boy from Lake Grace who captained the Dockers in 2017 to 2022, Fyfe has averaged 25 disposals over his career and kicked 170 goals. But what happened to the 19 players who were chosen over Fyfe in that draft? And how did they fare in their careers over him? Tom Scully was touted as a potential number 1 draft pick in 2009 and was eventually recruited by the Melbourne Football Club. He made his AFL debut in 2010 and had a successful first season, finishing second in the AFL Rising Star Award and winning the Harold Ball Memorial Trophy for being Melbourne's best first-year player. In 2011, there was intense speculation that Scully would move to Greater Western Sydney Giants, which he eventually did, signing a 6-year contract valued at $6 million. There was controversy surrounding the signing, as it was discovered that his father, Phil Scully, was also offered a job as a recruiting scout at the Giants, which led to the inclusion of his wages in the club's salary cap. After signing a 4-year extension with the Giants in 2016, Scully received his second All-Australian nomination in 2017. In 2018, he suffered a severe ankle injury that led to his trade to Hawthorn, where he excelled and played his first game in round 2 of 2019. Despite the impact of the 2020 COVID year and shortened quarters, Scully was considered a steal of that year and retired in 2021. Jack Trengove made his AFL debut in 2010 and quickly established himself as a rising star, finishing 4th in the AFL Rising Star Award and representing Australia in the international rules game. In 2012, he was named the co-captain of the Melbourne Football Club alongside Jack Grimes, becoming the youngest AFL and VFL captain in history at the age of 20. He retained the captaincy for 2 seasons before stepping down to focus on his playing form. His next 2 seasons were plagued by a navicular bone injury, which limited him to just 7 AFL matches from 2014 to 2017. He was delisted by Melbourne at the end of the 2017 season and signed with Port Adelaide as a free agent. Currently, he plays for Prince Alfred in the Adelaide Footy League. Out of the list of draftees from 2009, I would say only Dusty has had a better career than Nat Fyfe. But I won't spend too much time on him. The resume speaks for itself. 3 premierships, 3 Norm Smiths, an AFL record. Brownlow, and will go down as one of the greatest footballers of all time and this modern era. Anthony Morabito's journey in professional football started when he made his senior debut for Peel in the opening round of the 2009 Waffle season. Despite missing the second half of the season due to a thigh injury, he was awarded the Waffle Rising Star Award for his outstanding performance in the first half. Morabito joined Fremantle in the AFL in 2010 and had a successful debut season, including a spectacular goal in the elimination final against Hawthorn. However, Morabito's career was derailed by a series of leg injuries, including 3 knee reconstructions, which forced him to miss multiple seasons of football. He returned to senior football in 2014 after 1,369 days, and made an impact in his first game back, collecting 8 disposals in just over a quarter of football. Unfortunately, despite being redrafted in the 2016 rookie draft, Morabito failed to play an AFL match and was eventually delisted. He then joined Claremont in the Waffle in 2017, but due to further knee surgery and injuries, he announced his retirement from football before the start of the 2018 season. Ben Cunnington is a well-known and accomplished AFL player who was selected by North Melbourne in the 2009 AFL draft as the 5th overall pick from the Geelong Falcons. He made his debut in round 5 of the 2010 season in Tasmania against Hawthorn, where he contributed 12 disposals in a 12-point win. Known for his toughness, Cunnington was won North Melbourne's Best and Fairest, the Sid Barker Medal, in 2014 and 2019, and was a runner-up in the 2015, 2017, 2018 and 2021 vote. He was also nominated as an All-Australian in 2019 and has a career total of 71 Brownlow votes. As of the end of 2022, in August 2022, Cunnington signed a 2-year contract extension with North Melbourne, keeping him with the team until the end of 2024. Gary Rohan was drafted to the Sydney Swans with the 6th overall selection from the Geelong Falcons. He made his AFL debut in 2010 and had a promising start to his career, playing 9 senior games and kicking 7 goals. However, much of the following seasons were hampered by injury, including a serious hamstring injury in 2011 and a horrific leg injury in 2012. Despite these setbacks, Rohan managed to have a profound impact on the Swans performance when he returned to the senior side. In 2017, he had a standout year, including a game-winning goal against Essendon and a personal best of 5 goals against the Gold Coast Suns. Despite being claimed by the Sydney Swans that Rohan had requested a move home to Victoria at the end of the 2018 season, he categorically stated that this was not the case. Rohan was traded to Geelong in October of that year. In 2021, Rohan became only the second player after Barry Hall to kick a winning goal after the siren for 2 different AFL clubs. He was also part of the 2022 Premiership side for Geelong. Brad Sheppard started his AFL career with the West Coast Eagles in 2010 when he made his debut against Hawthorn. Unfortunately, his debut match was marred by a dangerous tackle from Chance Bateman. Despite this setback, Sheppard went on to establish himself as a key player for the Eagles. In 2015, he was named the club's player of the finals after a strong performance throughout the season, which included a loss in the grand final against Hawthorn. Sheppard continued to excel, reaching the milestone of 150 AFL games in 2018, and being named in the All-Australian squad in 2019 and 2020. However, in 2021, Sheppard suffered 2 major concussions that ultimately forced him into retirement after receiving medical advice that playing would risk further damage to his health. Sheppard was known for his versatility as a medium-sized player with the ability to play as a defender, midfielder, or half forward. He was praised for his well-rounded skill set, including his ball-carrying ability, foot skills, decision-making, strong work ethic, and athleticism. John Butcher. Butcher made his AFL debut in round 21 of 2011, where he played against Hawthorn. Butcher made a promising debut, kicking 6 straight goals in his second match against Western Bulldogs. However, following his debut season, Butcher struggled to establish himself as a consistent AFL player. Injuries and the time needed to develop key position players resulted in a slow start for Butcher in 2014, but he made a comeback by finishing the season as the leading goal scorer for the Magpies in the South Australian National Football League. In 2015, Butcher had a rough start to the season, but his end-of-season form was impressive, earning him a 1-year contract offer for 2016. Unfortunately, Butcher was delisted at the conclusion of 2016, but he continued to play football for Central Districts Football Club in the SANFL in 2017. He later joined the Northern Territory Football League club Nightcliff, where he helped his team win the 2018 Premiership, and then went on to help his hometown of Marfra win their 9th Premiership in 18 years. Andrew Moore impressed scouts with his athleticism at the AFL draft camp, topping the running vertical jump with 85 centimetres and performing well in the 20-metre sprint and beep test. Moore's football skills, including his ability to win the ball and make good decisions, were honed as a representative for Vic Metro and during his time with Eastern Rangers in the TAC Cup. Moore made his AFL debut in the opening round of the 2010 season with North Melbourne and played for Port Adelaide until 2015 when he was delisted. He was then signed by Richmond Football Club as a delisted free agent, but was delisted after playing 5 games for the club in 2016. Moore joined the Box Hill Hawks in the VFL and was named as an on-baller on the VFL's Team of the Year in 2017. In late 2019, he signed with the SANFL club North Adelaide and has become a key player in their midfield unit. Jake Melksham. Melksham made his AFL debut in the 3rd round of the 2010 season, where he played 14 matches in his debut year, mostly on the half-back flank. In the following year, 2011, he was earmarked for a greater role in the midfield by incoming coach James Hird, and went on to have a standout season. Melksham played every match of the season and was praised for his performances in the midfield, even kicking the match-winning goal in a 4-point win against the previously undefeated Geelong. In 2012, Melksham was named as one of the players who would have a breakout season, with his strong form contributing to the club's outstanding start to the season, though his form and the team's fortunes declined in the latter part of the year. In 2013, Melksham broke his hand during the preseason, but he managed to return and played 21 matches for the year. Throughout his career, Melksham showed flashes of brilliance, but his form was inconsistent, which resulted in him failing to finish inside the top 10 in the club's best and fairest in 2012. In the 2015 trade period, Melksham was traded from Essendon to the Melbourne Football Club. The move came as a surprise to many, as Melksham was considered to be a key player for Essendon. However, the change of scenery proved to be beneficial for him, as he found a new level of consistency and confidence playing for Melbourne. In his first season with the club, he established himself as a valuable contributor in the midfield, playing in all 22 matches and finishing 5th in the Best and Fairest award. His performances were praised by both the club and the media, with many noting his improved form and ability to have an impact in the games. He was part of the VFL Premiership team of 2022 for Melbourne, but missed out on the 2021 Premiership in the AFL, Josh Gisberts. After strong performances for Melbourne's VFL affiliate, the Casey Scorpions, Gisberts was chosen to debut against the Geelong Football Club in round 10 of the 2010 AFL season. In his debut, he led Melbourne in disposals with 26 and was named one of the team's best players despite a comprehensive loss to Geelong. Gisberts was awarded a Rising Star nomination after his second game and was again nominated for the award after his round 11 2011 match against Essendon. After the 2012 season, Gisberts was traded to the North Melbourne Football Club in exchange for Cameron Pedersen and draft picks. However, at the end of the 2013 season, he was delisted by North Melbourne, having played a total of 19 career games. Kane Lucas. Lucas was drafted from East Fremantle Football Club, where he played 12 senior games as a 17 and 18-year-old. He was part of Western Australians' victorious AFL National Under-18s Championship campaign and was named in the 2009 AFL Under-18s All-Australian team. He made his AFL debut in round 3 of 2010 against Essendon, but was hindered by a hamstring injury that kept him to only 8 games in his first season. Despite struggling with injuries and form in the following year, he was the first player to be substituted onto the ground under the AFL's revised interchange rules in 2011. His best season was the 2013 season, where he amassed 308 disposals and 9 goals for the Blues. Lucas was eventually delisted by Carlton at the end of the 2014 AFL season and was redrafted by the West Coast Eagles in 2015, but he failed to play a senior match for the club and was delisted at the end of the 2016 season after a total of 42 career games. Daniel Talia played for the Adelaide Football Club. He made his debut in round 15 of the 2011 season and went on to play 9 games, earning the Mark Bickley Award for the Crows' best first or second year player, despite carrying an Achilles injury. In 2012, Talia had a breakthrough season, playing on the opposition's best forward and being nominated for the 2012 AFL Rising Star Award, which he went on to win. He continued to perform well in the following years, winning the Malcolm Blight Medal for the club's best and fairest player in 2014, being named in the All-Australian team and becoming the youngest member of Adelaide's leadership group. In 2016, Talia re-signed with the Crows until the end of 2021. Near the end of the 2021 season, he suffered an ankle injury and was not offered a contract by Adelaide in the 2022 season, ultimately leading to his delisting and retirement from AFL after 200 games. Lewis Jetta's debut season in 2010 was marked by 19 consecutive behinds without a goal, but he broke that streak by kicking his first goal in a game against Hawthorn at the Sydney Cricket Ground. Despite a disappointing 2011, Jetta improved in 2012 with better foot speed, kicking accuracy, and decision-making, and led the Swans for goal kicking, and was a member of the premiership side for that year. How can we also forget about the moment between Jetta and Cyril Rioli during that grand final?
Committed to the pack and did well. Grundy. This is interesting. It's a main event in any stadium in the world. Jetta pursued by Rioli. Rioli can't go with him.
Jetta re-signed with the Sydney Swans in 2013 and was traded to the West Coast Eagles in 2015. He was also a member in the 2018 Premiership that defeated Collingwood. He was delisted at the conclusion of the 2020 AFL season after 202 games and 116 goals. Christian Howard was drafted to the Western Bulldogs from the Glenelg Football Club in the 2009 draft. Despite being a surprise selection, many believed he had the potential to be a long-term replacement for Lindsay Gilbey. However, a hip injury caused Howard to miss a significant part of his first season and prevented him from securing a spot in the senior lineup. He finally made his senior debut for the Western Bulldogs in 2011 and played well, picking up 11 possessions in a 29-point loss to Hawthorn. Unfortunately, Howard was delisted at the end of the 2014 AFL season after only 20 games, as injury affected his ability to remain on the team's list. Jasper Pittard made his debut for the Port Adelaide Power in the opening round of the 2010 NAB Cup and went on to be nominated for the 2011 Rising Star Award. Pittard had a solid 2014 season, playing all 25 games and contributing to the team's success. He was traded to North Melbourne in 2018 and played all 22 games in 2019, finishing 9th in the club's best and fairest for the season. However, he was dropped from North Melbourne's side in 2020 after round 11 due to poor performance and was delisted at the end of the season after he played 159 games, averaging 18 disposals per game. Daniel Menzel made his AFL debut in the 2010 AFL season and quickly became a fan favourite. However, his career was plagued by multiple knee injuries, including 4 knee constructions, which caused him to miss several seasons of play. In 2017, he had a good season with Geelong, before being dropped from the team in the first match of the finals. He joined the Sydney Swans in 2018, but was delisted at the end of the 2019 season. In 2021, he joined the Woodville West Torrens Eagles with his younger brother Troy and helped the team win their first ever back-to-back SANFL premierships. He topped the Eagles' goal-kicking list with 44 goals from 18 games. Luke Tapscott was a highly regarded young forward and midfielder with a powerful and accurate kick. He was selected as the 18th overall pick in the 2009 draft and was compared to 2009 AFL Rising Star winner Daniel Rich. After an injury-ridden 2010 season, Tapscott made his AFL debut in round 1 of the 2011 season and had a tremendous match, collecting 19 disposals and narrowly missing out on being the AFL Rising Star nominee for that round. Over the following years, Tapscott featured in the starting side for Melbourne as a role player. Unfortunately, Tapscott was delisted at the end of the 2014 AFL season. Ben Griffiths made his debut for Richmond Football Club in the 2010 season, where he played in their first win against Port Adelaide. Unfortunately, his AFL career was limited due to frequent concussions sustained during games. In January of 2018, Griffiths retired from the AFL and accepted a scholarship with the University of Southern California to pursue a college football career as a punter and transition to American football. His transition was successful as he was selected 9th overall of the 2022 CFL Global Draft by the Edmonton Elks in the Canadian Football League. In the AFL, he played 62 games across 8 seasons.